Dave, a point on the road in a pretty scrappy contest at times. Just give us your verdict on the game.
Yeah, very scrappy. I think largely dictated to by the weather conditions, very similar to Morecambe, unfortunately, with the amount of rain that's come down yesterday and today. And the game was probably touch and go, and probably in the warm-up when the rain started to come down again, we probably feared for the game happening. That was the information we got when we arrived at the ground. But I suppose I've got to look at it in terms of the players and say that 3 or 4 weeks ago I said that we went to Newport and we didn't play well, and if we don't play well, then you've got to go and take something from the game, and if it's horrible 0-0, that's horrible 0-0, and that's happened tonight. So I'm not going to turn back on what I said there. You take your point, move on. Our quality wasn't good enough. For 3 minutes I thought we were absolutely brilliant. We started the game really well and probably should score from the first sort of wave of attack and then the corner. But after that we were sloppy, and again it's tough, but our quality was nowhere near good enough.
As you say though, in what is a really challenging period of the season for you in terms of the players that you have available, the calibre of opposition you're coming up against as well, what you have shown the last 3 games is an ability to grind out results, and that's important.
Yeah, of course it is. We're a point closer to where we want to be, and that's always going to be important. Yeah, you want to win and you want to get 3 points, because the difference between 1 and 3 feels hugely significant. But I've always been. I would never take a point before a game unless it was to win us the league or get us promotion. But sometimes you have to sort of hold your hands up and say, game wasn't a good game, and you go out of it with another point on the board and able to recover and look forward to Mansfield on New Year's Day.
Probably feels fair to talk about the defenders in a game like that. Ethan Pye, for him going up against last season's top scorer in League Two in Andy Cook, another composed performance from the youngster.
Yeah, they've changed in terms of their dynamics since Grez has come in. They've got a little bit more direct and give Cookie more balls to deal with. So we knew we were going to have to deal with direct play. It's not always the first contact, it's the second. So we did that really well, apart from one occasion when Ben has to make a save. We spoke about the Barrow game, and defensively we're always going to not question people, but felt we were too deep against Barrow, felt we were too deep against tonight. You're playing against a team that's direct, you've got to be brave and got to get higher up the pitch, and like I've said to them, the fella on the side of the pitch with a flag, if their forward player is beyond our line, normally he puts his flag in the air. Didn't happen the weekend, but that's normally the case. You have to use him to your advantage, and I think we've allowed ourselves to be too deep. The opportunity comes from us being too deep. Aki gets booked by being too deep and allowing himself to get pinned. So we need to be better at that, and we need to expose ourselves a little bit in terms of what that looks like. But ultimately, it's good defending. So we'll get an opportunity to work on that after the Mansfield game in the sort of 12-day period that we have, where we can get bodies back and we can mentally get people back. But also it gives an opportunity to get on the training pitch and do some real work, which we've not had the chance to do over the last few weeks.
You again made a double change at half time. It did look at one point like Crosby might be coming on midway through the first half. Were those changes as a result of injury or were they tactical?
One of each. Powley again felt something early in the game. We looked like we were making a change, then all of a sudden that had died away or gone away, and then he said at half time that he was feeling something, so you make that change. First half, and I get it's difficult, but we set out to play in a certain way where we had control of the ball, and we were potentially 8v5 in our half of the pitch, because if we pushed them back with Tanto, Paddy dropped in, their wing backs further back, we had 8 against 5. We should have been able to keep the ball. When we then choose to pass the ball back to Ben and him just smash it up the pitch with sort of reckless abandon, if you like, pointless having Tanto on up there. So as a result, you then have to go, okay, well, we'll make a change and put at least a target figure up there for us that we can play forward to and build off. I thought we played better in the second half in terms of those moments, but we still got some joy from playing into Woods and having a counter press and runners beyond him. We let ourselves down in the final third. Our quality of our crossing was really poor. Culminated in the last one here with the corner. Now I get the pitch is in a not very good state, and there's always going to be an excuse there. But then if that's the case, then we had a 2v1, work a 2v1, find an area of the pitch that's not as muddy or as horrible. But one thing's for certain, make sure you put the ball in the middle of the goal and have to defend it. To hit the front man is criminal, to say the least, and probably sum the game up.
Results elsewhere have certainly gone your way. None of the top 4 in League Two winning today, and I guess really that. Sorry, you okay?
Yeah.
I guess really that just sums up the crazy nature of the division. There's going to be plenty of twists and turns along the way.
Yeah, there'll be twists and turns. I think, listen, if countrywide the weather is what it has been today everywhere else, then it's a difficult night to play football, and there's not a load in the division. People will have runs. There'll be things going on in games tonight where there are uncontrollables for certain teams, whether it be mistakes, whether it be refereeing decisions, whether it be injuries, sendings off, all them things. To think that you're just gonna, or the same team's gonna win game after game after game after game. People watch what teams do and come up with game plans to try and make things difficult. So, and that's always going to be the case. I've said before, it's always good if you take care of your own stuff and then you can look up the things and see things have gone in your favour. But from our perspective tonight, we're 1 point closer to where we want to be. Like I say, we wouldn't have taken that before the game, but on what the game looked like, I think we've all got to say that we weren't justifying of getting 3 points. So sometimes you have to swallow that up and move on.
You've spoken about the need to bring players in as quickly as possible once the window opens. One of those players is obviously already here in Ethan Bristol. Just tell us a little bit about that signing.
Yeah, so Ethan's been one that's been in the pipeline for a while, to be fair. Obviously the MLS season finished in in October, and he's had a rough time over there. Let's be very clear. It's not gone well for him. He's found it difficult. On the back of having an unbelievable season here with Challinor, so we obviously needed cover down that side immediately with Ibby being away for the African nations, and we've lost, I suppose, the things we did potentially have down there with Miles being out and Rydell being with his ACL. So to be able to get somebody in and somebody of, like say, I won't say Ethan's experience, he's played a full season at League Two and played 51 games, and profile wise is exactly what we want, to be able to play left back or left wing back. Got brilliant delivery, bombs up and down. I think he'll be the one to admit that defensively can certainly improve and be better, and that'll be the thing that'll take him to a higher level, if you like, because we think he can play at a higher level, and whether that's here or elsewhere, we're looking forward to working with him. We've got to get him up to speed. He's been out for a bit of time. We've got to make sure he's good to go for the Walsall game on the 13th.
Appreciate you're not well, so we'll let you go in just a minute. Just one last word on the next game. Mansfield coming to Edgeley Park, first v second, huge occasion.
Yeah, great game to look forward to. Like I say, the mathematically the two best teams in the league. So it'll be tough. We've got rights to run from the game down there earlier in the season, and it's I suppose the last game in a run of games that has been a big ask for us. But most importantly, it's the first game of 2024. We want to make sure we start the new calendar year on the front foot. We know we'll have to be very, very good in order to win the game, but Edgeley will be bouncing, and hopefully we can put on a show.
Appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.